Hello, 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 and I hope that everyone is staying warm and safe during these treacherous winter storms. So we know that it is cold outside, but it's warm inside. So last episode we focused on the phone call, and this episode we want to kind of focus on what's next, right? What's next? What do you do after you get your diagnosis? What's next? So we're gonna kick that off today. All right.
Sounds like a plan.
Sound like a
Okay.
plan. So, welcome to another episode of the MVP Breast Keepers. And today we'll be discussing after the diagnosis and what's next. If you're anything like me, I had questions. Why me? Um, what could I have done differently? Did I eat? What was the type of food? I thought I was eating pretty healthy. I was exercising. And then I thought about what would my life look like now since I've been diagnosed. So I got diagnosed on a Friday. I had one of the best breast specialists. She got me that appointment on Monday. Now, normally, to get an appointment with a specialist, it takes some time. But
Mm-hmm.
she got me right in on Monday. But before I cried for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then I started writing down questions. And some of the things that I came to mind was like, I wonder what stage this breast cancer wonder what stage it is. Um, Also, I wanted to understand what type of breast cancer that I had. That's another question. My other question for the breast specialist was like, is this treatable? Has this cancer spreaded? So that was some of the uncertain questions that I had and needed answers. After meeting with my breast specialist, because that's one of your breast cancer treatment team members that you're probably going to meet first, is that breast specialist. And then she'll probably recommend you to maybe an oncologist or radiation oncologist. You may even talk to a plastic surgeon, but that's after the post treatment. After meeting with her, she gave me some surgical options. And normally it's a lumpectomy or mastectomy. Um, can you later share about after you got your diagnosis? Did they go straight to that you had to have surgery, or did
Move
you
your
have to
hands,
have some
Marie.
type
Move your
of
hands. Move your hands.
treatment? Yeah, or did you have to have some type of treatment? Can you share?
Yeah, sure, I can share. So for me, you know, after I got the diagnosis, like I said, I got me a book, started writing everything down. I treated it like my background is in project management and IT. So I just focused on treating it like a project. So I wrote everything down. I had all my questions. My doctor even said, shout out to Dr. Elizabeth Pritchard, who is now retired. That's my girl. But anyway, she would say, you're one of the ones that come in here, have all your questions written down. You want to know. And she said, some people, they don't want to know anything. They just want to get it out of their bodies. She said they don't ask any questions. They don't say anything. Only thing they want to do is get the cancer removed from their body. And I treated it like a project. So I wanted to learn. I wanted to become knowledgeable about, like you said, how I get it. Did I eat right? Was it
Uh-huh.
something that I was drinking? If I was healthy, whatever. So I questioned myself on all of those things as well. I was in the prime of my life. I was running marathons, not half marathons. I was running marathons, 26.2 miles. So I was like in
Oh
the
wow.
best shape ever.
Mm.
And that's when I found out that I had it. But that's kind of like a little bit about that I wanted to share. I just treated it like a project and wrote everything down. And after diagnosis, it's all very overwhelming.
Mhm. Well, a friend of mine did recommend to me to get a notebook. So that was the first thing I did, and I got a notebook, and she started sharing some things with me, to inquire about. My connection with an oncologist was not right away, so I got the call December. My meeting, if I'm not mistaken, my first encounter with anybody was February.
Okay.
That's odd.
Y'all know how
That's
how
odd.
Yeah.
nerve wracking that can be.
That's like, what was
Yes.
that, like 2 or 3 months?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Now, between there, just FYI, I had a procedure with my gastroenterologist. And I was just letting him know, that kind of thing. And he started sharing with me, and I had been given the physician's name. And he was like, oh, yeah, she was trained by one of the best. So that started making me feel better.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he knew the person, and it was African-American female over the clinic.
Mhm.
So that made me
Okay.
start feeling good.
Yeah,
And
that
then
increased your comfort level.
yes,
Right.
and then I actually started doing research, and I Googled her name, and later on I saw my former PCP's name, and then I called her up because she's also a sorority sister, and I was letting her know. So she might have been one of the first ones I shared it with. And so
Okay.
then she gave me more confidence. So I think for me, it was a confidence building wait for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 'cause
Okay.
I had to wait a minute.
Okay. So when so with me, my birth specialist, I went to surgery. I was diagnosed. I saw her in May, the day after Mother's Day. I can't remember the date. June 13th, I was having surgery.
Mm.
So I had two options, and I chose one, and I got recommended the same one that I chose. Also, I seek the second opinion.
Mhm.
So that's one of the things that you definitely want, or you definitely want to do. If you're a little unsure, you just want to make sure this is the, because even though your breast specialist, you love your breast specialist, like Pam, I have an Elizabeth too. My breast specialist was Elizabeth Feldman. Anyone in the DC area, she's the best. She's in Virginia. She made me feel like everything was going to be okay. But also, I went to Johns Hopkins to get a second opinion. And, mind you, I think I may have shared the last episode that, I had a sister that, had a different type of cancer. And unfortunately, she didn't make it. So that's why I want to get a second opinion. My mom always said, when you have surgery, get a second opinion.
Yes.
Get a second opinion. I don't know if you ladies got a second opinion or not, because you want to feel comfortable about and confidence about your medical treatment and your plan and your doctors.
Well, y'all want to hear my second opinion? It came before the first opinion because I couldn't wait. So I told you I just had my first encounter in February, but in January I went to see the second opinion. If that makes sense.
Wow, you had to wait a little bit, huh?
But it was a clinic that came highly recommended by my current PCP because her mother had gone through the journey. So I went to see the second before I saw the first, and they took a very interesting approach with me. They took a very interesting approach with me. They sat me down, and I had to watch video in a room. I had someone with me, but it was very, very informative. And again, that was my confidence building.
Okay, good.
So it was, I don't know why and how I came about that way, but I was like, I can't wait. I got to hear, I got to know.
Right, exactly.
You all had, you got the phone call with the details. I didn't have any details because I didn't have any sense to go look at my computer chart. You got the chart?
Right,
my chart.
I was too, my chart. I was too whatever to even do that.
Oh, I didn't go to the chart, Vondra. I just got my appointment from Friday to Monday. I was at the doctor's office.
That was very
quick.
I don't think even if I had a chart, I probably couldn't even think about that chart or even know what that chart was saying. Because even when I went to the appointment with her, I had someone with me. I heard her, like we said at the last episode, I heard her and I didn't hear her.
Right.
The doctor. But someone was writing down everything, had all the questions, and they even told my support person, well, you should come work for me. Because that support person even had questions.
Yeah.
Like a lot of questions. I was like, well, I don't know all the questions to ask. I had the simple, questions like what type of cancer, things like that. Where is it located in my breast? And come to find out, I had two different types of cancers in one breast. So then I wanted to get a third opinion. That's how.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
It wasn't nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's your body. You get as many opinions you feel that makes you feel comfortable, right?
But after I went to Johns Hopkins and that doctor, can't think of his name right now, looked at my chart, and that was like two people. I was comfortable with the decision that we made. Yes. And then another thing I want to say, even after you have the surgery and when you're going through this breast cancer journey, you kind of want to manage your mental and physical well-being. That's most important. Even consider talking to a mental health professional because you're going to need that.
That's
because sometimes your body's going to be sore. They recommend therapy. You want to try to, if you can, just keep engaging in your physical activity, exercise, try to get plenty of rest because it's a long journey, especially when you
It
have
is.
surgery.
It is.
And never hesitate to ask for any help. Definitely try to get you a support group.
Right.
To me, that's the number one thing. You don't have to tell everybody. Eventually, some of my friends found out. I didn't tell them; they found out. Because when you tell everybody you crying and they crying, and you know, it's emotional.
Yes.
It's very
And the
emotional.
thing is, you don't. What concerned me when I couldn't even talk about, like, praise God for this moment right now, because I used to couldn't even talk about it to anybody.
Exactly.
I couldn't even talk about it. But I think it's it's kind of like a pro and con to it. Like, you're blessed to have a wonderful, loving family and loving friends. But when something happens traumatic in your health or life period, the thing is, repeating it over and over again can be so stressful.
Yes.
And explaining everything, everybody has the same questions. It's almost like you want to get on a call and say, okay, everybody get on a call and I'm saying it one time. This is what I'm going through. I'm going through this. My next doctor's appointment is here. And this is, just say it one time. Everybody got it?
Yeah. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that.
No, but I'm just saying, it's like versus repeating it over and over again. That can be very stressful. So it's a blessing that you got a wonderful family.
Yes.
Loving family. But who wants to talk about carcinoma over and over every day, all day? Because by the time you explain to one person, they're going to know
somebody else going to call another person.
And they're just giving you the love and support you need. But sometimes you just need to just sit and say, hey, I'm still trying to, as my husband used to say, I'm still trying to get this pill down. I'm gonna swallow it. It's gonna get down. I'm gonna swallow this pill, but it ain't down yet. But I'm trying to get it down. So I'm still trying to swallow this pill and understand what's going on with everything they're telling me.
Right. It's funny you said that, Pam, because that's what I had to do with my other siblings. Get everybody on the telephone at one time. Because every time you explain it, and every time, then it's emotional, then you crying again, and like you said, you welcome the support, but just keep repeating it and keep repeating. You keep reliving it. You keep reliving the same thing. Keep reliving that diagnosis.
So did that work for you? Having everybody on the call, did that work? Did you find that was better?
Yes, with the siblings. But with friends, it was like individuals, because once somebody found out, one person found out, they told somebody, then that person called. So it was a lot of, sometimes I can cry now, if I think too hard about it and go back 2013,
Yeah. And what was good for me was, like I told y'all, I had to wait. Well, during that process, I got an email to join a group A, group B kind of support, not support group, but like a study. They called it an occupational study. However, what it did more for my mental health, because I had not had anything done. Again, I didn't meet until, to February. So I got a chance to talk with the occupational therapist. We talked about time management. Well, these are just the different topics, from time management to, and we would meet as a group. There was a group and a B group. And I prayed, I said, Lord, I want the group where I can get a gift and some money. So I made that group. And so we would, my occupational therapist would visit me every week, by Zoom or whatever, every week, and we talk, and then we, he'd give me suggestions for, like you were saying, for therapy, for, when I say therapy, for walking, just to kind of prepare me for what, things, whatever he thought I would encounter. Because we didn't get into the details of my situation, because I didn't know the situation, you know what I'm saying? Then once I was able to, I had to, go through my little process, and then of course, jump back with the group, and it helped me because I was then motivated. I guess that's the right word, because you can kind of have a pity party sometimes,
you can.
That. So it was helpful to me. So, everybody's different in their mindset, but I thought the therapy, or the occupational therapy, support survey, they were really doing research. That's really what it was. I was just part of a research study. And, and so I thought it just helped me.
Oh, that's good. But let me ask you this question. Did you have to tell your employee, your coworkers?
I chose not to. Only person I talked to was HR.
Oh, wow.
It was not necessary in the occupation that I currently have.
Oh, okay.
And that for me was my privacy. And I did speak to my supervisor, and I just said, hey, I got to be gone. Let's just work.
Okay.
Let's figure out how we got to do it.
I did share with my my coworkers, because it was
Mhm.
4 other ladies in my department, and we was
Mhm.
pretty close.
Yeah.
And so that was hard too, explaining, telling them about my diagnosis. I had one of my coworkers, she just left out of the office crying. And I even shared it with my big boss. And I went in his office because I knew I had to be off work for a while. And when I went in that office and I told him, his eyes, bless his, and I just started crying. He didn't know what to do. Like I can probably laugh about it now, but he didn't know what to do. And it was so nice of him. He went home. I guess he shared it with his wife, who was a nurse, and she taught nursing school as well. She gave me a book, and he brought back a book. And that book really, I can't remember the name of the book. And that really helped.
Marie,
So
I'm getting chills as you sharing this. So, do you know that's the exact same thing happened with me?
For real?
We never shared. I told my
We're
boss.
sandbox friends for real.
I told right. I told my boss his wife was a nurse, the head nurse that taught at the hospital.
Oh no.
And I was going to get a second opinion. I told myself I'm going to get a second opinion. So he said, well, tell me who your doctor is. I'm going to write down. I'm going to ask my wife about it. So shout out to Tony. As the best boss ever. But anyway, so he said, I'm going to ask her about it. So the next day, I think he called me back that night. He said, don't get a second opinion. He said, I've talked to my wife. She said, she is the best inmate. She is the best. Elizabeth. He said, don't go anywhere else. Stay with her. And looked like that was just what I needed to hear. Because I really liked her when I met her. I was like, we just clicked. But I still was like, and I told her, I said, I'm going to get a second opinion. I guess she was like, well, you go right ahead. You can go right ahead and get it. You'll be back. But I was like, I'm going to get a second opinion. But I was like, I felt so comfortable with her in that first meeting. And when he called me that night and told me that, I said, that one number, God just let me know I needed that reassurance and someone to just give me a sign that, hey, you don't need to go nowhere else. You need to stick with Dr. Pritchard.
Right.
And that's what I did. And I have referred so many people to her that I found out since I've been cancer free, that when they've gotten it, to go to her, and she's very confidential. Never they would say, well, so and so send me Pam, and then she says they'll say she says she can't. She go, oh really? Now let me talk to you about what I need. It was just like she wouldn't confirm or deny it. It's just like no. But that was HIPAA laws. You can't do that. But I thought they would say she didn't even know you, and I'm like, I love her. I was like this, but that's what happens. They have to do that. But I never knew that Marie. Mine was the same way.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
We have 2 Elizabeths.
We
have some stories.
2 Elizabeths in the same story.
In the same story.
So I think this is a great way. I mean, we have really kind of shared with folks things of when you get the phone call and what's next. I think kind of to wrap it up, I think some of the things that come to mind, that's the secret sauce we want to leave our listeners with is one, first, you need to have faith and prayer.
Yes.
You need to pray.
That's the main.
That's the first thing, right?
That's the first thing.
You need to find you a good physician. And there's nothing wrong with getting second opinion. Like Marie said, she was going to get a therapy. There's nothing wrong with getting the first, second, third, whatever that increases your comfort level. Exactly. That's okay. And do your research when you're looking at the doctors. Do your research.
Can I interject this?
Yeah.
If this person isn't capable, the one that's receiving the diagnosis, reach out. This is where you can ask someone in confidence to help you. Like you said, do you know a nurse? Do you know this? Because sometimes it can be a little overwhelming to think on all the things that you have to do. So that's a great, I like that.
Ask for help. You're right.
Ask for it. Yeah.
Ask for help. Ask for help. Yeah, like we talked about in the last episode. You can't make all these appointments by yourself. Ask them to help you with that. They will help you. That gets to the next thing. Get a support group. If you if you feel like having 1 or 2 friends, get a support group. I was totally different. I went to every doctor's appointment by myself. Now, if I had to think about redoing it now, I would never do that again. I would give me someone to go with me. But I did. I just went by myself. And like I said, treated it like another project that I had to get done. I had my action items written down, checked it off once I got it done. But that's just the way I processed it.
But you know what I did? I went along a couple of times, but I recorded. I asked them if I could record.
You sure did.
Because
you told me that.
I had to drive distances, for what I needed to do. So I would drive and listen and re-listen.
Oh, that's a very good idea, Vaughn.
And I got their permission to record. I didn't put the face on them. I just had the phone on, and they just talked, and we just had conversation.
Very good.
That's a good idea.
That's a very good idea.
That helped me because I did go to a couple of them by myself.
Oh, that's
another secret sauce.
Mhm.
that we leave
Yeah.
unsolicited.
Just
So
ask for permission.
don't
Ask
just
for
now, we
permission.
don't want to send y'all. Don't go in there and say we sent y'all in there to well on MVP Breast Keepers. They said we can record. No,
No,
that's not what we're saying.
No.
We
ask for
said ask
permission.
your physician. Is
For
it
permission.
okay
Right.
that we record this section? Because
Mhm.
you're right, it can be beneficial when you ride in the car, just like you listen to our podcast now. You
That's
can
right.
be listening to what your physician said during the appointment.
Oh, yes.
Exactly.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
any other secret sauce y'all want to leave the audience with today?
Um,
Our listeners.
we just want to just remind them that they're not in this journey alone. You know, the MVP
Absolutely.
Breast Keepers
Man.
are here to support you
We are here,
Yes.
every
and
step
you
of the way.
are, and you are a MVP breast keeper as well.
Absolutely.
Whether you're supporting a family member, whether you're supporting a friend,
Right.
church member, whomever you are a breast keeper. And we want you all to, as you listen to this community, even if you're not affected currently, you could know someone in your circle, but direct them our way, send them our way, and let them know that we are here to share and to be as big a support as we possibly can.
Can be. Yes.
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 Well,
Okay.
this has been a great session.
And
Thank you, listeners, for giving us something that you can never get back. Your time.
Your time.
amen.
Bye bye.